Today I'm visiting the McIver Dairy Meadow on Donner Pass Road, and we just passed the sign that indicates it's one of the Lincoln Highway sites that you can always look up. I'm going to get away from the road noise. The meadow itself is under restoration, so we're staying off of that. These are some of the outbuildings, and unfortunately a little bit of the trash, and apparently people have been taking the windows off. Always unfortunate. I can see here there's a bit of damage to this building. This close to the freeway, it's just unfortunate. And this looks like it was kicked in and not pulled out like a bear would do. You can see some of the larger rocks. You can see there, it looks like an old well. It's got a locked cap on it, which usually indicates, maybe not. Could be a gate. Yes, unfortunately, there's going to be a little bit of debris. Of course, everything around here has changed since the freeway went in. You can see what's left of an old roadbed here. Perhaps a flat here. There was some sort of structure. You can see the fence to control the I-80 access and hear the road noise. Kind of a steep climb. We're coming up on some of the first remains of the McIver dairy wagons. You can see here, these would have been spoked wheels, but with perhaps more modern day axles and hubs. A little bit of a stop there. More remains here. We're going to go up here a little bit. You can see bits of wood as we go up. This one does look like it's been marked. There's a wooden stake with an orange ribbon on it. And again, the chassis. You can see some of the attaching points here. The axles, which look more modern day still. I don't see any of the hubs, so perhaps at that point they were using car tires and rims. There is more debris here, but it's been covered up by pine needles and land use. You can see how they have attached the axles to the frame there and reinforced it with some metal. You can see perhaps some of the old road beds. And then again, could be motocross. This is the most curious part right here because it is some sort of a spring-loaded cog, perhaps actuated. Parking brake. Chassis around. And I'm not seeing enough more. We'll try. So close to the freeway though that it's hard to imagine the rest of it escaped. If there was more, if it escaped the freeway construction. Yeah, part of the strut there, that looks like the old square rebar that you'd see around in the concrete here and flattened out. So obviously a blacksmith created this. Wow. This is a mountain bike track that must come down from the college. I just saw a little chunk of wood. Looks like perhaps some more strips over here. I thought there had been more remains when I first had come up here. Boy, it almost looks like fresh cuts on the ends. I hope not. And like I said, there's plenty more underneath the pine needles. It's just not visible. And I'm not going to start digging, so perfect. Hello, and today we're visiting Floristan's old water line. You can hear the I-80 noise, sorry about that, but it's kind of sandwiched between I-80 and the river. So, but here you can see the raised bed that the water pipe would have run on. This is some of the remaining wooden water pipes, and you can see that they're strips of redwood that have been wrapped with iron. You can see this one still has a little concave shape to it at the end here. But those would have been redwood strips that, when wet, would have expanded and created a watertight seal. And then this bed here would have been the course of the water line. Here you can see the rock stack where the water line would have run, and then the pipe that's been discarded or rolled off its bed are now lying down below. Occasional remnant of a ring or two. And the water, I assume before the freeway was built, would have come down from the opposing hillside here, where there was probably a collection point. You can see a deer lie here. Of course, it's all overgrown now. Mountain mahogany is commonly used for smoking meats and barbecuing. Flavorful wood. Several deer lie. You can just see a little dishing here where the ditch would have been. And up ahead is some more coils that would have been additional links. And across the freeway here, I would assume, would be perhaps the location of the water supply coming down the hill. Just the wire left now. You can see the joinery at the end. That's all been clamped, made by hand.